Hey everyone, welcome back to Empire Build Academy. It is the guide to skill books that I'm doing in today's video for Evony. Let's go straight over there now. A lot of people do tend to add these incorrectly, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a quick full guide on the skill books and how to put them on your generals correctly. So let's first of all have a look at a general with their skill books so that we understand what we're talking about. So if I use Marcus Agrippa as an example, we can see these are the skill books down here. There are 3 slots and they all bring additional buffs for the general. When having a look at these buffs, if I go into this one and I click and change, you can see that we have 4 different tabs: military, development, subordinate city, and special. Special is one of those that is hidden behind a paywall and is sometimes available to obtain even better buffs and sometimes debuffs as well for your general. So if we was using a subordinate city one, you can see we've got things like level 4 construction, production, capacity. They start from level 1 and they go all the way up to level 4. This is the part that people add them incorrectly, but I'll show you that in a moment. Development would be for your gathering and for your monster attacking, and the most commonly used one is military, and this comes with things like ground troop attack, mounted troop attack, defense, HP, all of those kind of things that you would also expect. Now to just talk about some things that you need to be aware of with the skill books. The first one that you can see here, this yellow one here, if that has the same skill in here on this first part here as one of these, then you wouldn't be able to add it and it will give you a warning message to say you can't do that. Another thing to be aware of as well, you can use them with assistants, but with the assistants they can't duplicate what has already been put on your main or conflict with that yellow one that I just mentioned. Now if you want to see what can and can't be added, there is a brilliant way you can do this. You can go to your wall, and when you go into the wall and you do your defense generals, you will notice here that you've got some grayed out options, and it would be exactly the same for your duty generals as well. Let's go and add 2 different ones. Let's go and resign Queen Boudica. So put in Merlin and Ragnar, and you can see on this, because they've got the same ones on these 2 here, they are grayed out on the assistant, so those buffs wouldn't count. So the idea would be on both your main and your assistant is to get 6 different ones that don't counteract each other, that aren't duplicated already. So with that said, let's now go and change these. So let's use Edward the Black Prince, who is a range general, and let's start adding these and showing you exactly the way to add them. Also, I will quickly run over the wrong way, the incorrect way that people tend to do this. Let's go straight to ranged now. What I'm going to do is add ranged attack, defense, and HP. So let's go with the first one, ranged troop HP, and you can see that that has now gone into that first slot. Now what we want to do is fill that second slot with defense, and you can see that that second slot went in, so that's nice and easy. That's a good start. We just now need to add ranged troop attack, which I'm going to do now. I will stop. What happens here is sometimes when you add these, it actually writes over one you've already previously had. So there's no guarantee it will happen with this one, but there is a possibility that one of these 2 here will be overwritten by the new one that I'm already trying to add. Now also as well, I was mentioning about the fact that they can duplicate these yellow skills, and that's exactly what's happened with this one here. I'm trying to add ranged troop attack, and when I go into it, it's saying that the general already has this, so I wouldn't be able to add that. So I would need to add a different one. Isn't a problem because there is other ranged ones that I can add. So ranged troop bonus is the one I'm going to add, and again we will keep an eye to see if it overwrites one of these, and it didn't, which is unusual, but that's what happened there. So now we've got all 3 of those incorrect. That means now my job is done, and all I need to do now is replace all 3 of those exactly the same with the level 4 version, so that it overwrites with that level 4 over the level 1 skill book that is already in there. So I need to find ranged troop HP, ranged troop defense, and ranged troop bonus in the level 4s. So when I do that, I'll go to the ranged troop bonus, it will overwrite the level 1 version. Go to the ranged troop defense, that will overwrite the level 1 version. And then I just need to find the last one, which is the ranged troop HP. Do that. All 4 have now been added correctly, and I now have all 3 of those level 4 skill books attached. But let's find a different general and see if we can get an example of when things don't go well. So this time I will use Marco Polo. You can see it had no skill books already attached. Let's go straight down, and then let's add all of those mounted ones like we did with the range. Mounted troop HP goes in. That's done. Mounted troop defense, that is now going in, and you can see there it actually did copy over over the original skill book that was already there. So now I have that defense, but now I need to add the HP again because that's now disappeared. Once I've done that, it's now in. You can see 2 slots are filled, and then I just need to fill it with that last one, which is mounted troop attack, if the general can accept it. So you can see again, it copied over a skill book that was already there. So now I need to see that I've got mounted troop attack, mounted troop HP. I now need to go back down to defense, add mounted troop defense. The reason we do it this way is because you get plenty of the level 1s versus how many of the level 4s you get. Add it in, and now all 3 are done. I now have troop attack, I have troop HP, I have troop defense. I would now be able to go all the way to the top and add the level 4 versions of the same type. So it was mounted troop HP that we're adding in. That will overwrite the level 1 version. And we want mounted troop defense, which was the next one that we want to overwrite. Again, not many of them I have, but it's now done. And then finally finishing off with that with the mounted troop attack, and all 3 are now correctly done. So what you need to be aware of is when these books actually overwrite ones you've already got, and this is the reason why you need to start at level 1 and fill all those 3 slots with the ones that you're looking to do. So if you're looking to add attack, defense, HP, fill it with level 1 attack, defense, HP. Once you've got all 3 slots filled with those different versions, then go up to your level 4s, then overwrite those copies so that you get the level 4 ones without wasting any level 4 books. So again, you can add these developments all to your different gatherers and also your monster hunters. Subordinate city, I do see people using these ones as well. With the level 4 city, it's usually going with the things like gold production. I do see people using rebirth in there as well, and then it's a case of construction. That gold production and definitely the rebirth are definitely 2 to think about adding there. And as I mentioned before, with the special, these are normally hidden behind a paywall. And let's just summarize this very quickly. So we have 3 slots for the skill books. These all go into these spaces here. You need to make sure that one of the skill books you're adding doesn't duplicate with the main one in here, the main attribute, which you will find at the top. Then once you've done that, you need to add the level 1 versions of all the different books that you want. So this one is again mounted. You would add a level 1 mounted HP, a level mounted 1 defense, level 1 mounted attack, if that was what you were going for. And you would need to wait for all 3 slots to be filled before then going and replacing them with the same version but level 4. You can use assistants, but when using assistants, you need to make sure that they are not duplicating what is already added to your main general. And again, the simple way to check this is by going into your defense general, resigning who is on the wall, and then use the 2 that you are looking to match up. So again, if I wanted to go into this and I wanted to find my ranged troops, and let's just say I wanted to add Merlin, and then I wanted to also add Ragnar as well. You can see that the 2 skills that I've got are not added, and the reason they're not added is because they duplicate what is already there via Merlin, or potentially that first skill that I was talking about in here. That is how to add them. If there's anything I've missed, then please do let me know in the comments. And I will leave that video here. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, please do consider subscribing, and I will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.